All right then, so to back this quilt, it's only a little one, as you know. This is polyester batting. I think it's pure polyester. There's no cotton in this. I use this when it's like a fun or a theme thing, because I'm not worried about the warmth. If I wanted warmth, then I'd use 80-20 cotton batting, that sort of thing. If I wanted to be stiff, if I was doing like a rug mug or something like that, I would use Bosal, which is a foam. But for this, I just need ordinary, cheap as you like, polyester that you can get anywhere. Just one moment, I'm expecting a delivery. So now what I do, I've been given this a press, or a light press anyway. I just want to make sure, and I hope you can see this on the screen, just lift him up a little bit so you can see a bit more here at that end. I want to make sure I've got a couple of inches at least, top, side, top, and I'll just fold that over a second because it makes life easier on here, keeping that fairly straight on my little table. Things are going to change very early in future. I want to do about another couple of inches this side of it, and what I use is something, this is Simplicity electric scissors. It's do a marvellous job, because we're not looking, as you can see by that seam, that edge, we don't want to do a marvellous job, because at the end of the day we're going to actually, really cut it with our cutters when we're finished. So I'm just going to make myself a bit of a hole, if I can, yeah, dig into the fabric. Oh, it's running out of battery. Oh, you little bum. It won't even come out the other way. Okay, plan 2. Always happens, isn't it, on camera? Why not? Nothing works. So, let's get, exactly the same as you would at home, some sharp scissors, and cut that off. And say, oh dear, what a shame. Couldn't do that. So, the excess of that, yeah, and if I bring it up the table a bit more so you can see, I'm going to then, I'm kind of backwards, and I wish I had a table I could walk round, which hopefully very soon I will be, yeah. And then I'm going to take my scissors and come on down with that cut, yeah. And then, if I've got that more or less straight, and the top of that more or less straight, I know that if I go, even with my ordinary scissors, and chop it along there, I just want to give myself a good, and now I can get rid of those because they were not zoomed up, so I can then fold it back out. Okay, so I know I've got enough in that end, and I can continue with my ordinary scissors. And again, I want to make sure that you're seeing this on camera. Yeah, you are. So then continue that cut, just so that I know I've got plenty of room to play. And I can get rid of the polyester batting now, okay? And the next thing is to think, well, what are you going to back it with? Because obviously you want to back it with something, don't you? That's the next thing. So then I can get rid of my pieced front, yeah, because then I can use this as a template, if you like, for some green fabric. And as it turns out, I got a bit of a misshaped bit of fabric, but okay, no matter. I'm gonna kind of get a bit down that I want to use for backing, and it doesn't matter about the other bits because I'll always use it for something, right? So as long as I know I got the length of it, so that's a fairly straight edge, that's good. Actually, excuse me, the bottom of it, as I'm applying this, the bottom of it is probably, as a selvage edge there, so as long as I keep that selvage edge going, we know where we are. All right. I'll work out in a minute which is front and which is back. But then I'll bring my template of the back in. And remember at this time, folks, we know this is over big, okay? So selvages don't count. Tops don't count. I'm just going to do it as I do it. And I'll come down to, I'll fold it over and come down to the next bit. So as long as I make sure that I got enough length, which I know I have, where I need to stop cutting actually is the other way around, which is great because I'll just make a snip and in I go, and I'll just cut this with my scissors, and it literally only has to be, so you can fold that up now, fold it over, move it along, keeping the fabric kind of straight, making sure that this, I've got a very big piece of fabric here, making sure it's fairly straight and it's all going to fit, and making sure that fabric is flat underneath, okay, which it is so far. And then left-handedly, I'm going to cut, probably not very well, but as I say, all this is going to get cut off in the end. And why I like using the electric scissors that need to be now put, you know, back on a USB charge is because it's so easy to cut left-handed, right-handed, whichever way around you want. And this is all very well. I'm doing a teeny little runner, aren't I? I'm doing a teeny little runner at the moment. If I was cutting this out, well, I'd be on a bigger table, but if I was cutting this out for a twin size, a queen size or a king size, my God, I'd want that electric cutter to just whiz it up for me rather than doing it by hand. But with this, you know, it is chopped, literally chopped, right? And I'm making sure it's fitting down the bottom end, moving that along again, okay? And now from this selvage edge, yeah, I want to come up here, knowing that this is already a couple of inches bigger than I actually want. Yeah, I've done it, right. So now I can get rid of all that backing fabric, cut the yards out the way. So now I've got my backing, and I'm good. Just have a look at it. Yep. And it doesn't really matter which way around I do it. Just make sure it's flat out and covering everywhere. Yes, it is. May have been a half an inch short that end as I'm doing it, because I probably lost half an inch this end, don't I? Whatever, don't matter. This is why we give ourselves so much room, because the other reason why we're giving ourselves so much leeway is that because when we start to quilt, top quilt the quilt, if you like, it will draw in. So we need that extra space that we will then eventually cut to size when we're finished. Yeah.
I love my mummy.
I don't know what you just did, but I'm having interference. Anyway, so we've done all that, yeah? So the next thing is, am I going to pinhole it? Nah, not going to do that. 505 spray. Don't tell me this is going to run out, because everything's going wrong lately. 505 spray, okay? Get it on Amazon, get it at your local shop. Make sure that your nice side of your fabric is at the bottom, because that's the bit that everybody now is going to see. Okay, and I probably should have sprayed it and done it. Do not spray the fabric. Spray, thank you Rob, delivery of calico, right? Spray the back of the, what do you call it? Batting, okay. Then from that point there is where I've done. Lay it down, and get it into focus, and then go right, done. Now I'll figure it's about here, but I'll be able to tell now. I'll bring it up so that you can see it a bit better on, because I'm in a cramped space doing this, aren't I? So then we pull that back up, and you can just there, right, too much. Just there is where it started to stick, yeah? So from this point of view, again, please behave. Ow, sticky. And I might do a bit more in a minute. Get rid of anything that's on your thing, and then boom, 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 boom. Spread it down, spread it out, and spread it down so it's stuck. Okay, is it stuck? No, somehow. Well, that bit is. That bit wasn't. So, bit more. Make sure everything's laying flat. Bring it up the table and make sure it's stuck. Now, this means that I've just stuck it, right? But it is really professional. So if you find on the back of your quilt, I stuck that a minute ago, didn't I? If you find, oh, I've got, it's not right, it hasn't stuck right, you can pick it up and stick it down again, and it will work for you. Now, I've done, sometimes you think to yourself, not, I always try and do the back of the batting. The reason I try and do the back of the batting is if you do the fabric, yeah, sometimes it can come through to this side and leave a stain. So I do the batting, not the fabric, okay? So I was just going to say, I have done quilts in the past. I still got one. It's about 12 years old. And I haven't finished it. I have not finished it. I haven't finished doing top quilting on it. And it really wants to go in the washing machine for a wash, but it can't go in the washing machine for a wash until I finished it, because otherwise it just all fall apart, yeah? Because this will only last until you wash a quilt or wash your table runner. It doesn't matter by that time because it's all sewn in, isn't it? This is only an agent to help you while you're working. But 12 years ago, and I can peel it up and put it back down and it still sticks. It's marvellous, marvellous stuff. There's no pins to take out, nothing under your needle. You've got a free working space, and that's that. So the next bit is, what do? We get our quilted top, our pieced top, and then we're going to put it on the quilt, back in. Whoop, what did I do then? I dropped my scissors. And we know we gave ourselves a few inches that end, and we gave ourselves a few inches at the bottom. Don't matter about how it is, because we're going to chop off everything we don't want anyway. And we've ended up with a few inches this side, okay? And then what we're going to do, now this is a bit more of something you have to figure out for yourself, because, well, you can obviously spread it everywhere, but you don't want sticky stuff all around. So what I do is I fold it first off in half, roughly, yeah? So from there, and I'm trying to keep you can gauge your line, yeah? More is less with this. So I'm just gauging where my line was. If a little bit goes over, you know, you can only do your best, can't you? So then I'm smoothing, put it back down the table, and I'm smoothing. Okay. That. If I find there's a bit no sticky, well, I'll put some on. I seem to have worked well with there. Not so well with there, so bit more spray there. Okay, that's all nice and smooth. Bit on that corner. How you doing? Oh, you're all right. You're all right. So then we only went from halfway. There's only 3, so it's more than halfway. So we can go back. Oh look, see, that was peeling off. So, and now I'll come down here, pop it down, smooth it. Not too much, but just smooth it, yeah? How are we doing? Nope. We'll have to give it a minute, I suppose, to really find its way. Because obviously this sticky has got to find its way. Oh, look, that's a bit too much there. So you end up with stain, right? Just give it a minute and then say, are you stuck? Yes, you are. And the longer it's on there, the more... Oh, that's disappeared now, so I'm lucky. So the longer it's on there, actually, the more sticky it gets. So that is now together and will hold, whether you start in the middle or you're just round the outside, that will hold it now, the same as using pins or anything else that you'd like to call it. So that is ready now. That's the whole quilt sandwiched. I'm ready to go under my needle for a little bit of pizzazz.